Hi, Cancer. Welcome to Aries season. It's kind of a big deal for you with 10th house activity, kind of nice. Mars coming into the 12th house, though, which can give you added mental activity. Let's just leave it at that, right? Added mental activity. A lot of creativity, a lot of ideas, a lot of new directions. It's possible you may feel a little, not sure of which way to go. Totally fine. It'll come. Getting a strong feeling of healing for you guys this month too. I'm not quite sure exactly why. But here are the first two cards that came out. Interesting to get the card of Capricorn coming out, which is your opposite, and all the relationship stuff going on over there, right, in the 7th house. Queen of Coins is so good at harvesting, which means she's good at understanding the environment that the seeds need to be planted in. So right now, you seem to be creating a peaceful, still, relaxed environment. Now, it's important to be noted that even though this is Aries season, even though we know Aries can be kind of all over the place and really directed, I say all over the place, meaning powerful, right? There's a lot of drive, there's a lot of ambition there. It is still an interesting time in spite of that. I mean, it's great. It's a great time, but we're still kind of coming off of a pretty intense couple of months, We still have a lot of Pisces activity. For you, Mars in the 12th house is going to be a little bit interesting, So it's still like a limbo. And it's a great time during a limbo when things kind of seem to be up in the air to really regain perspective, to be objective about your life, to be objective about the situations in which you find yourself, and to really ask yourself, okay, well, if I'm going to be planting seeds, what kind of environment do I want those seeds to be planted in, right? A peaceful one. So your meditation's very important. When you interact with people, to do so with purpose, with integrity, to do so with honesty, even if it is a little bit brutally honest sometimes, simply because there cannot be any falseness. Because when seeds are planted in inauthenticity, then you're kind of wasting your time and you're wasting everybody else's time. So if you want love, ensure purity of heart, If you want money, if you want career growth, if you want prestige, accolades, if you want a family, whatever, make sure that your heart is pure and that your intentions are pure. 4 of Swords is a meditation card, right? So meditate. Find that vastness and that universe inside of you. Understand what that is, understand what that means, and understand that the abundance of the universe is you. Right? The abundance of the universe is you. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's see what else. Let's see. 5 of Wands, but it's reversed. Whenever this card gets reversed, I feel like there's an ejection away from drama, right? Like you're just ejecting yourself. Whatever arguments, whatever it is, whatever drama, period. And you have this ability to turn your back on it. You don't have to participate. If you're dealing with a Cancer and they're being all drama-filled, it's because they're not at peace. And their involvement in drama is merely a mirror of their own tumultuous environment inside. But most of you, Cancers, watching my videos on my YouTube channel, I know that you are going to walk away from that. I know that you respect yourself so much and you know that this is not worth it. All the pettiness, all the competition, all of the ego, and I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be winning and I'm doing, it's just, this isn't your game anymore. It's not your game. It can't be your game anymore because I think you have found a substantial lack of fulfillment in that environment. And it hasn't gotten you what you've really wanted. And so now's a time when you can officially leave. Do you know what I'm getting? That image, like in the movies, like a Mission Impossible movie or something, like some stupid movie like that. At the very end, where there's always some explosion. And all the people, like the main character and like the hot girl sidekick and like 3 other people, they're all just like walking slowly away from the explosion. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, like it's just behind you. And again, like I've said every single month and will continue to say again every month, 2019 is the year that we become untouchable with that Pluto-Saturn transit. And there's no going back from that. Because once you understand the power of being an untouchable, how could you ever go back to being affected by every little thing in life? You can't. You've evolved past it. 3 of Swords reversed. So does the reversals connect the 5 of Wands and the 3 of Swords? Okay. There's a transmutation happening here. Could be with the same people or could be with totally different people, where whatever sadness and disappointment, whatever failure there was, whatever thing you failed to succeed at, suddenly becomes means of an opportunity. 3 of Coins is a card of leverage, where you are then able to leverage your past experiences into some major future undertaking. Career, work, love, whatever. And 3 of Coins is a promise of success, especially when it's coupled with the Queen of Coins. Because she is the one that has the Midas touch. She knows that when she plants those seeds in the dirt, that those trees and those flowers in that garden will grow. She knows how to take care of things, right? This is a card of Capricorn, like I said before. So what is Capricorn good at? Perseverance. And they never quit. Even when they find themselves so high up on the mountain that they get lonely. But once they're so high up there, or they're in the depths of the ocean, depending on which way it chooses to go, right? Because it's like the fish goat thing. Whichever way it goes. They get so high up on the mountain, but now they can see the whole world. So maybe it's a little bit lonely up there, but they're not going to turn back now. And that's the vibe that I'm getting. Like, you're not going to turn back. You're never turning back. Every single thing that you've been through, I think that you have found gratitude from that. Or you are about to. You find gratitude in the heartbreak. You find gratitude in the experience, in the loss, in the sadness. Because it's what got you here. It's what got you here. And there's always more to go. The scale is infinite. The scale of understanding, the scale of knowledge, it's an infinite scale. So while you may be leaving the masses behind, okay, while you may be leaving a lot on the table, there are mountains of fortune ahead of you. And I think you feel it. I think you can sense it. I don't see Cancer being torn up about stuff. And even if you have had sadness and heartbreak, which we see with the 3 of Swords, even if you have had that, it seems to be an irrelevant thing. So you've had it. So you've been through it. There is no need to be psychologically damaged from it, right? Psychological damage often, not always, but often is more of a choice, because it's conditioned. But I think you're learning how to move on from stuff. And that's a trait that Cancer does need to work on, right? Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Libra, Pisces, these are signs that tend to hang on to things, and it's important for them to learn how to let things go. See, even, what did I say in the very beginning? I don't know. Sometimes I'm so on point, right? It's a time of healing, and it's a time of forgiveness, and not only just forgiveness toward other people, but more specifically toward yourself, because we want you to have that Two of Cups, which is here, right? And this is a time when you actually see the silver lining. And you're like, oh my God, like if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. Wow, thank God. Like, thank God that person was such a nightmare to me. Thank God that relationship was terrible. Thank God I lost all that money, because if I didn't, then I never would have met this person and never would have gone here. And like here you are connecting all these dots, and you are really understanding the divine higher order. You're understanding the order to the chaos. You're understanding the higher intelligence. There truly is this life force that permeates through everything, and it's just taking care of itself. Very little effort on your part. You're just kind of in the mix with a little bit of free will, right? A little bit of free will mixed in. Mostly up here is where the freedom really begins, and you're tapping into that. You're letting your heart open, because when this is here, it's like, oh, it's such a heaviness. It's such an oppressive force. But here it's like lifting it up. And if you know that there are mountains, right? There are mountains of fortune in front of you, and there are a myriad of opportunities in front of you. There's no need to dwell at all. So whatever this stuff is just back there somewhere, like almost like it didn't even happen. Sometimes this stuff can just feel like a dream. You look back at your old whatever abusive relationship and you're like, oh my God, like, was that even real? Like, this doesn't even feel real to me. That's what this card is really about. Living in the moment, living in appreciation, and living in gratitude for the moment. Beautiful thing. Really, really beautiful. Also, I think this one came out. Are you coming out like the Queen here? I think you are. Even though you're the water, I think, because the cardinal nature is coming through. So the card of Capricorn, the card of Libra, and then we're also getting a card of Pisces. Now, I think this is someone else. What happens, and I just said this to Gemini, and it's very common for, side-by-side signs to connect, right? Because Gemini is your 12th house stuff. So it's still very much a part of you. And if you want to watch the Gemini reading, maybe you should, just to get a little bit of the nature, because, Gemini came out as the King of Swords. Now you're coming out with Queen of Swords, Queen of Coins, same thing, Gemini, but with the kings. So like Gemini, masculine air, Cancer, feminine queen. So it kind of is tying together, because Gemini is such a part of you, whether you like that or not, whether you can handle that or not. It's just the way it is. As a Virgo, Libra, a Leo, such a part of me, right? So here we have the queens. This particular queen sitting very high up on the mountain. I'm going to steal this from the Gemini reading. See what happens when people see you up on the top of that mountain there. They say, I want to be up there with that person. I want what that person has. I want that person's knowledge. I want their love. I want their attention. I want their money. I want. And so they start climbing up the mountain, because you're not about to come down. Because like I said, like, why would you? Now that you know what's up there, why would you ever come down? Of course you wouldn't. So you're not, and you don't. So you make them climb up, right? That's why their energy is more geared toward yours. That's why they're walking towards you. They are making their way up. They're trying to get what they want from you, okay? And sometimes this can be a very foolish energy. It can be very romantic, very overly dramatic, like poetic, musical, like this is the kind of person that would write you a song and play it on their guitar, right? Kind of that drippy stuff. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that's the vibe. So they're chasing you. They want you. And they see you with your back turned, which makes you even that much more intriguing. Of course, makes you that much more intriguing, and it makes you that much more interesting, and it makes you that much more valuable, and yada, yada, yada. It's all the freaking game, right? But while they're on the way up that mountain, they're going to learn so much about themselves that by the time they get up to that mountain to see the world the way you see it, they're not going to need you anymore, because that's what happens up there. The higher you climb, that's what happens. You learn, you struggle, and you achieve, and you attain, and you kick yourself in the butt, and you lose, and you fail, and like this whole myriad of things. So by the time they get up there, they're just not going to need you. And the people that don't follow you up there aren't worth your time anyway, and you already know that. This person, it will be surprising. We'll have to clarify this person. I don't think this is like an ex. It could be someone new. It could be a job offer trying to come to you. It could be, your mom trying to reach out to you. I don't know what the heck it is. It could have a connection with the Three of Swords. A little bit. You something trying to come back from a disappointment, but I think you're already past it. So doesn't really make that much of a difference. And, we'll see what happens. We'll see where this person's really coming from. We'll see what they've got going on. The intentions that they have, I think, are somewhat innocent and pure. I just think that you see the world way too differently. That's all. You're just a little bit more advanced. You are at queen status and they are at knight status. Well, what can I say? There's a difference. A knight versus a queen. So I don't see you necessarily cutting this person out. I don't see you being mean to them. I don't see anything, really negative happening here. And if they come and go, fine, let them go. If they try to chase you, fine, let them chase you. Like, I don't know, you seem to be immovable. Just, I'll meet you at the top. It's better up here. Come up here, See, last month with Pisces season, I said, in almost every sign, it's about fluidity. This month, it's about chill. Last month, it was, just go around it. Don't worry about it. Don't try to fight anything. And this one is just like, okay, just, kind of a little bit of a continuation, although I just don't see a lot of movement. It's just chill, because I think the stones were thrown in the pool the past couple months, and we're just waiting for the pool water to just kind of even everything out. Yeah, maybe it is a past connection. Maybe I was wrong on that. I think that the universe is trying to connect with you in some way. There could be a temptation for fantasy and idealism, and honestly, I think maybe it's actually more on the part of this other person. And maybe on some level, even though you're kind of cold with your back turned toward them and coming out as a Queen of Swords, like a chilly vibe, definitely the Cancerian crab shell coming out with these two energies, Queen of Coins and Queen of Swords. But there is still like a what if kind of lingering. What if this person actually does meet me up here? What if they actually do contact me? What if they actually do reach out? What if it's Venus and Pisces kind of stuff is what's really happening. Venus and Neptune coming together, that's essentially that's what's happening. And so we're all being hurled into this ultra idealistic love kind of thing. Or philosophy kind of thing, or dreamland thing. So it's okay that that's happening, just so long as you're conscious that that's what's happening. My concern is that they're not conscious and they're actually projecting a lot of stuff onto you. They're actually like, oh, Cancer's the one, Cancer's my everything, and they're pushing a lot of their issues onto you without even realizing it. And that's when it gets really dangerous. So the fact that you're up on the top of that mountain and you're being productive and you're walking away from that Five of Wands, and you're healing from this whole thing, like you've just got so much going on that you just don't really have time to entertain their little fantasies, and you might not even know that stuff is going on. They might not necessarily be so incredibly vocal towards you. You might not even know who the heck this person even is. And yet they seem to be watching you from afar while you just have your head down and doing your stuff. Maybe it is a little bit of a secret admirer for some of you. And like I said, you could probably go through all Aries season and some of you have no idea who I'm talking about. Don't worry about trying to figure it out. It's not worth it. When it's ready or when it's ripe, then it will present itself. You just have faith in that. And you can kind of keep your dreams and your fantasies in front of you in an idealistic kind of way, because right now, and I said this in my podcast, I said, this is a time when dreams become inevitabilities. It's Aries season. You know, it's Aries season. And Aries season is all about manifestation. So here we go. Planting seeds for harvest in Virgo season. So let me turn this over. Oops, hold on, sorry. Click the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Let me get these up a little bit. Let's pull out the supplemental cards. See what else comes out. You know, I just got a new deck. I'm going to pull one from that deck too, just to see what comes out. So we'll pull two from this one. Another Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups energy coming through strong. Don't think it's you. I don't think it's you. And the Three of Swords. So another Three of Swords energy coming through. So before I pull my clarifiers, this is the Black Moon Astrology deck. Let's just pull one from here just to see. This is kind of a fun deck I thought would be relevant for us here. Oh, well, we got two. We'll take two. Okay, so 7th house of partners and Jupiter. These are astrology cards. They're not really tarot. But I mean, the partners, I mean, make sense, right? We have the Libra full moons happening in your 4th house. Like that stuff's happening like right now. And then again at the end of April, when the moon is at 29 degrees Libra. So yes, relationship stuff is prominent. Of course it is. Jupiter in abundance. I mean, what more could we expect? What more could we expect from someone who's already made their way so high up the mountain? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you're here, you're already kind of in this state of walking away from a disaster. So you're healing, you're making your way through it. So what else could there be? Abundance is an inevitability of peace. It's what happens when you tap into the universe that already exists within you. Right? Not even within you, you just are. Like the universe is just like, there is no real form, there is no real distinction. It's just you. Knight of Cups, really, really strong. You may need to break the Knight of Cups heart a little bit. They seem to be walking straight into the Three of Swords, connected with the Three of Swords here. You know, I don't really know what to say. Cancer, you just got to do what you got to do. That's it, plain and simple. You just got to do what you got to do. So now let's clarify these, okay? Let's clarify. I don't like to clarify the Four of Swords for some reason because I think it's just so like self-explanatory. But let's just do it anyway. Let's pull like one card for the Four of Swords. Five of Swords. Okay, yeah. Well, you're getting through your psychological patterns because I think in the past you would have totally entertained this. You would have totally been like, oh, Knight of Cups, I love you. You're amazing. You're everything I ever wanted. And this time you're just like, I'm good. Like, I'm good on my own. You know, if you even know who they are. And even then, like, you wouldn't even want to date someone who doesn't bring themselves out of the woodwork because you're like, man, like, I need someone more strong than that, more confident than that. I don't need someone who's going to be lurking in the shadows, you know? See, that's what you're really more about. You're King of Coins. Isn't that so much better? Such a better match. Such a better match. Cancer, why? What is going on with you? So attractive. So attractive. Maybe there's multiple people. Yeah. 7th house, house of partners. Of course there's romance involved. Of course. The heart comes out in the Three of Swords, you know? And Cancer leads with their heart anyway. I mean, that's your space. So, Ace of Swords. You may be a little sharp-tongued, Mars and Gemini. But I think it's good. It's going to serve you well. I don't think that it's going to have negative repercussions whatsoever. Not even a little bit. So I think that's good. I don't know. Are you going into a hermit phase or are you leaving a hermit phase? We'll talk about it. Maybe going into a hermit phase. There seems to be an element of needing to digest because Jupiter is going retrograde at the end of April, and that's in your 6th house. So when I say digest, right? 6th house, house of Virgo, hermit, card of Virgo. So yeah, I mean, it is about process for the sake of understanding, ensuring that all the right nutrients get to the right place. Another Queen of Swords coming out. I love the Queen of Swords for you. I do. I really, really love it. She's just the right amount of cutthroat and the right amount of with mercy. There is an element of mercy with the whole thing. Like, I don't think you guys are coming out as like raging assholes, you know? It's not the vibe. See, what did I say about the fortune, right? Jupiter, abundance, fortune, the mountains of fortune that await. It's really important to maintain a state of belief, right? We all know the role that belief has in making things happen. Whoops, hold on. Okay, we got a couple more that came out with that one. Yeah. I had a feeling there was something a little bit sinister with the Knight of Cups, because I don't always see him as being so like fresh, like kind of like an annoyance. Like, no, why would I? Why would I see the Knight of Cups as being an annoyance? But in this case, I do. I see him being annoying. Oh, 3 of Swords reversed again. Wow, 3 of Swords making 3 appearances here. And I don't have reversals in this deck here. So, you know, it came out upright. But I think it's being neutralized by the reversals and the upright there. I know Mars in the 12th house will put you in a state of dreaminess. You know, it will. It's the nature of it. That's fine. Just so long as you recognize the dreaminess and just so long as you recognize what's actually really happening, that's fine, you know. Separating yourself from faith and hope, or separating yourself from hope and stepping into faith, which I'll talk about in the comprehensive, most likely, if I remember. See, yeah, Knight of Cups again. We'll start with the Knight of Cups and talk about him and see kind of what's going on there, who that person is and really where they're coming from, simply because he's or she is just not stable, you know? They're not where you are, plain and simple. I'm not going to clarify those because I just wanted to keep those just something fun, just additional content. So there you go. All right, Cancer, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you guys so much for everything. If you want to join me on the website, of course, you're more than welcome. If not, then I will see you next month. Thanks so much. Take care.